Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make these. They're adorable little cupcakes. Definitely this is inspired by my Swirly Pop pattern. When I was suggested to make the cinnamon bun, I kind of thought of the other things that I could make with it. And it started before that when I had made this little, I guess, charm. I was just trying to see what it would look like if I double banded the perimeter of the Swirly Pop. And this, it actually reminded me of, there's a cookie called unicorn poop that is just like, it's full of different food color and sprinkles and all that, and I thought that if I would have made this like glitter banding, would have been a perfect unicorn poop cookie. So if you've never seen those, they're definitely cute to look at. The name might be a little to be desired, but it fits, I guess. But after I saw this and how it had kind of a nice dome shape to it, it reminded me of a cupcake. So, and then of course after the cinnamon bun, just kind of inspired to make the cupcakes. They're a little bit, these are kind of the ones I worked on till I got to where the ones I want to correct or want to show you how to make. But I think they're adorable. I figured out the banding that I liked, which is the spittle one here, which works well. And I'm going to show you how to make these. They are on 2 looms still, and I have mine set up in this pattern. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but it's easiest because then we can get to all the pins better when we're hooking the liner of the cupcake. So, and I put little, I guess I'm calling them sprinkles, on the top of them. You can do that if you want to. It's not totally necessary, you can completely skip it. But if you want to, you can either get them ready ahead of time, or you can wait and add them on as we're going. And I'll do a couple adding them on later as I go to show you. But first you're going to want to take whatever band you want for your sprinkle, wrap it around your hook, and then grab both bands and wrap them around your hook again. So you have kind of a nice little knot. And then whatever band is going to be the inside filling, which is the light purple on this cupcake, you'll take one of those and pull it through your sprinkle. And just pull it towards the center of it. And you just want to make, I guess, as many sprinkles as you want for your cupcake. But you can, I think, I have like 8 or 9 I could fit on there. I suppose you don't want a ton of them, because it kind of got to find a place to put them. But again, it's just wrap that band around the hook once, then twice, and pull a band through. So this is the sprinkle bands, but I'll put most of them on while I loom, because then I can kind of, they're easy to do then too. So, but if you want to, you get a bunch of these ready. If you don't end up using them, you just take them back apart and use the bands for something else. So, but first what we want to do is lay the swirl for the cupcake. And it's going to be double banded. And first we're going to go to the left from this bottom pin. To the left 2 bands. And then up 2. And then back towards the right 2. And then do the other side. This is a little bit different layout than the actual Swirly Pop, just to accommodate the frosting on the cupcake. So we're going to go 2 this way, to the right, 2 up, and then you're going to actually close the hexagon this time. So go 2 back to the center, like this. And that's just so our frosting goes around the edge all the way. Then you'll come back right here on these 2 pins and put a band, and we're going to do our swirl towards the center. Like so. Now we need to lay the filler bands, which is the light purple on this one, or the light blue on this one over here. And we're going to start on this pin and go towards the outside to these 2. And then from this pin right here, we'll go out to these 3 pins. Then from this pin out to these 3. Then from this pin down to these 3 pins. I guess I should say, if you have your sprinkle bands already set, just go ahead and start putting them in there where you want to. Sorry about that. Like I said, I'm going to put mine in afterwards, and I think that's just as easy. So, okay, so next pin out to these 3. Then from this pin, you're going to go to these 4 pins around. Like so. And then we need to fill up the center with like a starburst pattern. So I just go up and then go around. Like that. So now we need a center end cap. 4 times around, you want it fairly tight. So that's the center, and then where the end of your swirl stops, kind of offset from the center, you want an end cap there as well. 4 times 2. 4 times around also. So then we have that. And like I said, I'm going to add my sprinkles on afterwards. And all I do is I just put the band on my hook, wrap it around the same way, and I'll just pick where I want to start, pick up the band, and slide it on, and then just replace it. So it's not, I don't think it's too bad to do it after the fact, because the pins hold it, and the only thing is if you want to put your sprinkle on a band that is underneath the other one, you have to kind of move them around, but the banding isn't super complicated. Just kind of a weird zigzag all the way around. So you just put your bands back the way they were. You just add as many as you want, or none at all. And the cool thing is if you add too many, you can always just cut them off after you've looped it up and you see the end result. So like so. So we have the swirl layout, we have the filling. So now we can turn around and loom this out. So we're going to start in the middle end cap, go in through that, grab the first band and pull it back towards itself, and do that all the way around the center end cap. Like so. So once you have that, we're going to slide over to this end cap over here, and you're going to be going through these two bands as well. Go through there, grab the top band underneath, loop it back towards itself, and do that for the other three bands. And these will be end caps for these pins. So you just go in through there, grab the bands that are in there and pull them back towards themselves, towards the outside. Like that. And then go to the next one. And just keep going around the starburst center. And then when you get to this one, you'll actually be going through these bands and these bands over here. So make sure you get through all of them. To loop that one back and the next one like that. So here's what we have now. So now we want to loom up the swirl, and we're going to start over here in the offset end cap. So go in there and grab the swirl bands, should be two of them, and just pull them back towards themselves. And go all the way around until you reach this point right here. Once you get to here, when you reach through here, you should be grabbing this band and you're going to pull it back towards the very bottom point here. So go through all of this, all these bands, grab those two bands and pull them back towards the bottom. And now you can continue back up to the point. Then we'll come back here to the point on the bottom here, grab the very bottom two bands, and we'll just loom those all the way up to here, to the top. Like that. So now we have that loomed. So this is the top of the cupcake, or underneath here is the top of the cupcake, but this whole thing is the top of the cupcake. Now here comes what I'm going to say is probably might be the hardest or most confusing part of this design. We want to be able to have the cupcake edge kind of over the side like an actual cupcake. And what happens if we don't do the banding that I'm going to show here is you end up with like designs like this, where there's nothing on the sides. Or if you do it incorrectly, you could end up with something like this. So it took me a while to figure out how to get it the correct way without, with still having this particular design on the outside, because otherwise it looks different. It has this pattern, which I didn't really like for the cupcake, on the sides. So what we need to do is first we're going to ignore this open point for right now. So just push it way down on the pin so it doesn't pop off. And what we have to do, I'll come in here a little bit. What we have to do is this band, or these bands that are all on the inside of the design, we want that to be the only thing on the pin. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to grab this inside band right here with my hook. I'm going to hold it, because it's no fun to find if you lose it. And I'm going to pop off all the other bands that are on the pin. And pop them off towards the inside. You might need if you have another hook or something like that. They get stuck on I only noticed up here on the top, but get all of the bands off of the pin towards the inside, and then take the band that's on your hook and pull it back towards the outside. So we'll do that with the next one. These bands right here, it's just the top kind of inside band. Hold on to it with your hook, pop everything else off that pin, and then pull this out to the outside. And then these are the next bands right here. So grab those and hold on to them and pop everything off the pin towards the inside, and then pull this out around the pin. Here's the next band. So hang on to that one. Pop all of these off. And bring this to the outside. And now this one's a little weird just because of the swirl, but this is the band that you need to be on the outside of the pin. So grab that band, hold it with your hook, and then pop all the other ones off that pin, and then pull this out. Here's the next one. So grab a hold of that, pop all the bands off this pin, put it out. Here's the next one. All these off. Put that back on the pin. Here's the next band. And bring this out. Here's the next one. Almost done here. So here's our next band. Pop all these off. And this one. And just be careful as you're getting to the open point here when you're pushing these off that you don't actually accidentally pull that other one off, the top open point off. Like so. Alright. So if you could actually looked under here, you can now see the kind of the edge of the frosting under here. And now for the top, because obviously we can't flip those off like that the same way, we're just going to flip them up and over. So just grab the bottommost band, or bands, and bring it over the pin. And just keep doing that. And then the color bands, or the filler bands. Keep doing that until you just have the top two bands on the pin. Like that. You know, does it look perfect right there once you have the cupcake done? No, but that's the best way that I can figure how to do that without doing something super crazy. So now take a look at your pins. Make sure that you only have the few bands left. Like so. And you want to push them down. And whatever color you are going to use for your cupcake wrapper is what you'll get to now. And what we're going to do is just lay bands all the way around the hexagon. Just one band. Like that. So now what we're going to do is take our, basically starting anywhere, you're just going to take the bottom two bands, grab them, and flip them over the top. Like that. And do that all the way around. First row isn't too hard, finding the right bands and flipping them over. As we go on, it gets a little tougher to grab them and pull them over. Not really used to moving my loom around while I'm, or like this anyways. So like that. So now you should have two bands on every pin like this that are the color of your cupcake wrapper. And then we are going to do 3 more rows, just like that. So take your bands, go all the way around again. And of course, if you want to have polka dotted paper or something like that, you just change the color of your banding. Or if you want striped paper, like that. Then we're going to do the same thing. Grab the bottom two bands and just flip them over the side or over the top. I usually have trouble on these two pins getting them over. So if you can only grab one at a time, just grab that and pull it over, or if you luck out and grab two, that works as well. But you just want to make sure that you go all the way around. That. So, 2 more rows to go. I thought too, with the right coloring you can make Toadstool from Mario Brothers. Be kind of cute. So there's the bands laid again. Then again, grab the bottom two bands, flip them over all the way around. Alright. One more row. And then I'll show you how I closed it off. I know I should have the cinnamon roll out first, so I cinched that one off, but it doesn't work quite as well with this design to do that, so I just kind of closed it off straight. So there's the bands laid for the last time. We're going to flip them all over one more time here. See, I said this is where I had trouble. Alright, so that is everything flipped. We have our 4 rows, our cupcake top. So now how I close this is I take my hook and I stick it down through one of the pins, doesn't really matter where you start. Stick it down through and pull that one off on your hook. And you take your hook, stick it down through the next one over, whichever way works best for you. Then once you have these 2 sections on your hook, you're going to pull this one over here through this one. Like that. Then you'll do the same thing again. You have one section on already, stick it through the next section, and pull the first one through the second one. And just keep repeating that all the way around. The cupcake design, I haven't had any of them pop off while I'm doing this and pulling. The center is pretty tightly on here, so just as long as you're careful with the side pins that these don't pop off, this won't like fly off and make it hard to do the sides like this. Keep just going around. Until you get to the last one. Pull that through. So there's what we have right now. Before you take it off, if you look, although mine's a little twisted, so hopefully you can still see it here. Maybe yours will be twisted too. Right here is our first stitch. Our first time we kind of folded that band over. So I kind of have a little loop right here. And then here's our first stitch. I'm going to stick my hook underneath of that, grab another band, just one, and pull it through everything on my hook carefully. And then I will make a slip knot with the one band. So now everything on our cupcake is tied off. So now, if you don't have anything on your hook, this is tied off, use your hook to remove the cupcake, because it sticks. Start at the back, move your way forward. And it'll be a little misshapen at first probably, so just grab it and stretch it out a little bit, poke up the top, fix the sides down, but then you have an adorable little cupcake. I always loved playing with small things when I was a kid too, so it was tinier the better it seemed. It was neat. And then for the tail, if you stick your hook, kind of come in here through the bottom, stick your hook down through something under here, just the edge of something. Grab this tail that's hanging up and just pull it through. It should actually just be enough. That was my soda bottle. It should actually be enough to just kind of keep it up inside, so you don't even have to worry about weaving it in even any more than that. But I think this is adorable. It's fabulous. Cupcakes are adorable. So But I hope you like it. I hope that you enjoy it, and just kind of another spin-off of other things that have been made, so that's always fun. Make some cookies. You can show me those too. But I hope you like them. I want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Definitely I'll be making more of whatever comes to my mind, so some cute adorable food is always awesome. I will have more tutorials out for you soon, of course. Don't forget to show me your pictures of anything that you make of mine, because I love seeing them. You can show me on my Facebook or my Instagram. Both the links are under the video. And of course, if you'd like to know, or be one of the first to know, that I've put out a new design, subscribing to my channel is the best way to do that. And enjoy the little cupcakes. Thanks so much for watching. I'll have more for you soon.